Hello Culers, it's Pablo here and welcome back to Barca Universal. Barcelona's first pre-season game has ended. Barcelona 4, Gimnàstic de Tarragona 0. Big win for Barcelona in the end. We saw a first half side with a few regulars from the first team mixed with also a few Barca B players here and there. But in that second half it was a full Barca B 11 and that's where all the goals came, to be fair. A hat-trick from Rey Manaj and a deflected goal from Alex Collado there were enough to make the difference for Barcelona. NÄSTIC also went down to 10 men in that first half. But without any further ado guys, let's make ourselves a nice review of Barcelona's first game of the new season. So starting with that lineup that Koeman elected to start the game with, it was actually pretty similar to the one that I predicted, almost identical. I just said that Collado would play instead of Peque Polo, who ended up playing instead of him. But other than that, I got it spot on. We had Escobar and Yusuf Demir up front. We had Roberto, Ricky Puig and Pjanic in midfield. Dest and Balde on the fullbacks, and Umtiti Piqué just in front of Neto in goal. So we essentially predicted the lineup there in the match preview, which is good for you guys, obviously, and that's what Barcelona went for. I think looking at the game as a whole, especially that first half, it was pretty much what was expected, I felt. I didn't think Barcelona were going to really thrash NÄSTIC today. In the end, we did, yes, with 3 late goals, but I think, you know, it was decently, not even because Barcelona had all of the ball, but there wasn't like a lot in it. Barcelona weren't carving NÄSTIC open. It wasn't a completely dominative game. We had all of the ball. We were trying to probe NÄSTIC. We had some good opportunities in the first half. Sergio Roberto came close on a few times. He had a header tipped around the post. He had a shot, well saved actually, by the goalkeeper after a really good Ricky Puig pass. Serginho Dest blasted over. We had a few other chances in there, especially after NÄSTIC went down to 10 men. Pjanic had a free kick saved. But I think NÄSTIC going down to 10 men there, you know, that was a big turning point in the game. That kind of, I feel as if it made things very easy for Barcelona B in the second half to really wrap up the victory today. I think it was important we won too. We didn't want to draw today or lose today. It's just not good, you know, for the club's image, really. Everyone talking about it on social media and whatnot. We did our jobs, we got the win, and that was the important thing. But I think in that first half in particular, guys, where you saw kind of the more regular Barcelona players, the sort of guys who I suppose are at least going to be around the first team next season, although the likes of Pjanic and Umtiti, you know, will look to be moving those guys on in the next couple of weeks. But I think Yusuf Demir, the first guy we probably should point out, looks like a bright player, doesn't he? I remember back in March, all of Europe wanted Demir, but Barcelona have quietly got their hands on him here on loan with a 10 million purchase option next summer when hopefully we have some more funds. And to be fair, he looks like a bright young player. They call him the Austrian Messi, and he's not too dissimilar to Messi in his play style. Very interesting little player. He had some good moves in that first half, linked up well with Ricky Puig, who was also pretty impressive in the first period, I thought. I also thought Balde had a good game, and I thought that was important too. Balde playing in the first team in a regular Barcelona back line next to Umtiti, Piqué and Dest in a back four. I thought that was valuable. He looks very dangerous going forward. He won a lot of free kicks, put some good balls into the box. He's not scared to take on players. I was impressed with Balde. So I think in that first half, guys, Ricky had a good game. We also saw the likes of Yusuf Demir and Balde play well. And overall in that first half, 0-0, NÄSTIC down to 10 men, some chances for Barcelona, all the possession, but nothing too sparkling. So heading into that second half where all the goals did indeed come, Barcelona of course came out to that second half with a completely changed team. Iñaki Peña in goal, you had Igor Gomez and Ndiaye on the wing backs, then you had Arnau Comas next to Ramos Mingo at the back. Quite an attacking midfield, I thought. Mateus Pereira, you had Pablo Gavi there, by the way, born in 2004, very young player, 16 years old, and kind of Alex Collado just ahead of them there, the Barca B captain. And then you had Nils Mortimer, you had Hiroki Abe, and also Rey Manaj up front there. So Barca B basically, you know, a Barca B sort of lineup for the second half, and it was okay. Look, I actually thought we maybe created less chances in the second half, despite the fact that NÄSTIC were down to 10 men. There weren't many chances. It was just one of those pre-season games, you know, where you're watching through it, nothing much is happening. Players are getting their fitness up, absolutely nothing wrong with that, but there weren't many chances. Thankfully for Barcelona, we've got a big win in the end, and the scoring started at the 60th minute. Rey Manaj on the score sheet. Really good play by him. It's actually Igor Gomez there, the right fullback, who puts it into his feet. And the spin's great from Rey Manaj. Really good spin. Gets into the channel on his right foot. And the finish is brilliant. Really good finish too. Almost like a Luis Suarez type goal. Blasts it off of, you know, just half a yard he got there. Blasts it off the bar and in. Barcelona 1-0 up. I was almost said Barca B there because that's essentially what it was. But I think for Rey Manaj personally, I was happy for him. He got brought in about 2 years ago now to be that really scorer for Barca B. And you know what? That's exactly what he's been. Last season he scored some big goals for them in the playoffs, which nearly helped them get to to Segunda División. They got knocked out on penalties in the end, but Manaj, in that very game, scored the 2 goals and the 2-2 draw. So, look, he's done what he was brought in to do. We're hearing he could be sold, but to be fair to him, I think it would be, valuable if Barca B did keep him next season, because he clearly knows where the back of the net is. Other than that, guys, like I said, not a massive amount happened. Nice for Collado. He got himself in the score sheet. I think that was a big moment for him. I think I expected Collado to start this game, actually, so maybe that was a bit of a shock to him, thinking, oh, maybe Koeman doesn't like me too much. He's only playing with me with the B team players, but I thought Collado had a good second half. Obviously, players, I feel, in that B team looked to pass to Collado a lot. He was getting on the ball a lot, and he had a good deflected shot that goes into the corner, gets him a goal. This was about the 85th minute, by the way. A minute after that, Barca B immediately go down the other end. Hiroki dinks onto the back post. Rey Manaj has a tap in. He chests it over the goal line, so another for him. 3-0 Barcelona. And then you also got a penalty for Barcelona there in the last minute of the game, really. And Ndiaye gets down the left-hand side. Silly challenge, really, from the full-back. Clear penalty. And it was Rey Manaj there who stepped up. He converted it, and he got his hat-trick there for Barcelona. So 4-0 Barca on the day. Hat-trick from Rey Manaj. Another goal there for Alex Collado too. So a nice win in the end. Almost like Barca B were playing there, wasn't it, eh? But there we go. Some minutes in the tank for our players. I think in that first half, look, Piqué and Titi had barely anything to do. Neto didn't have to make a save. Iñaki Peña had a few things to catch in the second half. Dest and Balde were just doing most attacking in the game, really. Pjanic, I thought he was okay. He was good, to be fair, but, it's against NÄSTIC. It's a player where we'll look to move on. Sergio Roberto, I just don't really think adds much to a Barcelona midfield, but he did have an okay game. He came close to scoring in the first half. And then I think you look at the likes of Ricky Puig and Yusuf Demir, who are really our most creative players in that opening period. And I think the likes of, Jordi Escobar barely had the ball. I just think, clearly Rey Manaj is such a better striker than Escobar. And also Peque Polo, who was elected to start. He actually had a good header saved in the first half. But again, don't think he'll have that big of a role at Barca B next season. The guys in the second half, though, if you want to know a bit about Barca B, then you got a good taste of it really today, because that is kind of the sort of lineups they like playing. Arnau Comas at the back. You have the likes of Mateos and Gavi, who I hope to see a bit more of next season in midfield. And up front, Hiroki, Rey Manaj. Those guys were scoring goals for Barca B last season. So there you go. You got a good taste of that. Barcelona win 4-0. I will wrap up the review there. Not an awful amount to talk about today, of course. We have got another game coming up soon, though, guys. So Saturday, same time as this one, 7 p.m. Spanish time. We're going to be up against Girona, so slightly better opposition this time. So, a division up, essentially. Girona are, of course, in the Segunda. They nearly came up this season, but lost out, actually, in the playoff final. So they'll be still in the Segunda next season. But, another Catalan side. For Barcelona, maybe some more players back. Griezmann, Lenglet, De Jong, Depay could all be playing in that game, so watch out for that. Maybe we'll be seeing, less of a Barca B side in that match, although with the international breaks, with the Olympics, with injuries, I just did expect to see a lot of Barca B players in that game. But I'll end it there, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. Please do feel free to leave any of your thoughts on the game in the comments down below. I'll be back on Friday to do a preview for the Girona game, and then I'll also be back after the Girona game to talk a bit about it, so you guys have some content there over the next few days. I'll see you soon. Hope you enjoyed the game today. Hope you enjoyed the review, and goodbye.